Alright, another Iron Man tier list. Every superhero has a humble beginning, and even Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man, had to start somewhere. He was captured in a cave in Vietnam or Afghanistan, depending on the time period, and thankfully, with a box of scraps and the help of a man named Ho Yinsen, he created the first ever Iron Man armor. Or his most recent one, in the case of one certain oddity in here. And another, and there's also another oddity here, but that's kind of different. I'll talk about that. So there are about 5 tiers that I got. The worst one, piece of scrap, aka the worst suit or suits that are on the list. I'll be talking about functionality from what I know, and I will also be talking about discussing like the appearance of the suit. And now we got Dinosaur. This is a reference to a quote from Iron Man VR where he says, a classic, but a dinosaur compared to my latest. At least I think it went somewhere like that. And we got hold something big for 15 minutes, which is it's perfect. It's perfectly fine. It's not not perfect, just perfectly fine for the escape, but it's just kind of standard. It doesn't really matter much. And we got Trinket to Kill a Prince. These are the really good ones. And Iconic Beginnings. The best ones on this list. Starting off, we got the original Model 1. Now, this was originally designed by Tony Stark and Ho Yinsen when they were captured in Vietnam and created it as a life support system for Tony to keep him alive longer and so he could escape. It's armed with magnets and, if I recall correctly, a buzzsaw too. I think it's depicted with a flamethrower sometimes too as well. This goes going to Iconic Beginnings for sure. I mean, this is the standard setter. It's sleek, while kind of scrappy. It still looks amazing. And we got the gold edition. I feel like it looks super cool sometimes, but other times it just looks a little bit silly. But then again, from my understanding, this was the gold color scheme was mostly an inking error, but not an inking error, but because gray inking is pretty expensive. That's why Hulk changed to green as well. Now, I think this is because the civilians were scared of like the silver color scheme, and also there's an added skirt on there. On the previous tier list, I can't remember where I put this one because my views do change sometimes. I've never actually read a comic that uses this suit, so I'm only just having to use from my understanding. So don't call me a LARPer, okay? Yes, I know this one because I read Tales of Suspense number 39. I have it in my copy of Iron Man: The End, but I've never read a story with the gold one, so I can only go with my understanding of it. And I know it has roller skates added on there too, but I don't really know much else. Where am I putting it? I'm not putting it in Iconic Beginnings. I'm not sure about Trinket to Kill a Prince. Hold something big for 15 minutes. Okay. And here we got an oddity. The Iron Knight armor from the Invincible Iron Man animated movie. Despite the origin of this armor, where he's held captive, this time in China, and he built a suit to escape. Well, this one, it's actually not the Mark I in the universe. It's actually his most recent armor in the movie. He already had like a bunch of suits already prepared as like some kind of secret project. I think this is done to have like more suits with like through the animated movie, like 1 hour, 20 or 30 minutes runtime limitations that they could do. I think that's why Mandarin only has 5 rings in this movie too. It's actually pretty cool. I think it's cool. Although, it is a Mark I suit in origin and design. It's not actually a Mark I in terms of the actual continuity of the movie. And, of course, now we got the Mark I from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Armed with a flamethrower, a missile, and it has like mild flight where like he propulses up and flies away, is kind of, but you can't really control it, so it just kind of falls down after using it. This is going in iconic beginnings. This is again one of the more another like standard setter where it has like a more scrappy look to it. I mean, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps, of course. And yeah, this was designed by Tony Stark and Ho Yinsen, like in the comics, but this time it's in Afghanistan, not Vietnam. I can't believe I made the mistake by saying that the movie suit was made in Vietnam. I noticed this during editing, so I'm just here to clarify that I made a mistake. Whoops. No, I'm not a LARPer. I have seen the first Iron Man movie. That was just a mistake that slipped behind my mouth, alright? Because extremists did that retcon and the movie adapted it too. For the slightly more modern times. I mean, well, it was modern at the time. The movie is not really modern anymore because it came out like 18 years ago at this point. And of course, we got another oddity, which is the Mark I from Iron Man Armored Adventures. Yes, it looks like a traditional Iron Man armor. It is. But in the context of the show, it is the Mark I. I have not seen the show in like a decade. I have like no details about what this does, apart from standard like typical Iron Man stuff like repulsions and flight. I saw the show one time. I just haven't seen it in like forever. But design-wise, I think it's pretty cool. So I'm not gonna say much. I haven't seen the show in a decade, so I don't want to talk about something I don't really understand. And we got the Ultimate Mark I, which I've never read, and as far as I'm aware, this is only an armor that has had a cameo appearance. That's just in the background. No description about what it does. But as far as appearance goes, it's just kind of generic. I mean, it's just the Model 1 for the mainline continuity, but with like slightly different arms. But, dinosaur. And now we got the Mark I from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which, from a design standpoint, is kind of like the MCU one, combined with the Model 1, the comic one. Oh yeah, it's called Models in the comics. But I'm calling this tier list and the video Mark I, just so casual viewers don't get confused about why I'm calling it model. So I'm just going to use a term that they'll probably understand. Oh jeez, my mic's going a little bit too high. What's that about? Anyways, this has repulsors. This kind of functions like standard Iron Man armor. It's just a lot older. This appears in like 3 episodes. The first one being, I think Ultron 5 it's called. I think Ultron 5 is the title. I can't remember what the second episode was called, but it's the next one after that. And then it was used in Powerless, which is when the Avengers lose their powers, or what? Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. The rest are fine. Hawkeye's the only other one that's present. And he doesn't remember how to use it. His mind is all static, but like he does have a suit. It's my least favorite episode of the show, so I don't really rewatch it often. So I can't really give a detailed plot description, but that's the best I got. Anyways, I'm putting this in Trinket to Kill Prince. It's a pretty nice middle ground between these two designs, even if its abilities are a bit more standard Iron Man. And now we got Ultimate Spider-Man. I used to like the show as a kid. I mean, it's kind of hard to watch for me these days, but I still have a soft spot for it, even if I don't really enjoy watching it much anymore. And this is the suit that appeared in the Iron Octopus episode when it was like hacked and moving around, controlled by Doc Ock or something. Only one appearance. It feels like it's trying to be the Earth's Mightiest Heroes suit, but I think the art style just isn't quite as appealing, but it's just fine. But like, I don't remember what it does, and I just don't have really much to say about it. From a cartoon, I don't care much about it anymore, and the design is just not super noteworthy. It's fine. Okay, now we got the Iron Will suit from Marvel's Avengers. I debated about including it on here because, one, I'd never played Avengers. Two, it does seem to be inspired by the suit, but at the same time, it feels like it's trying to be a knight suit. It feels like it's trying to be the two, and I wasn't sure if I should really include it, but I ultimately did. I like that it's trying to look more like a knight, but I feel like the like arc reactor in the middle, I feel like it clashes a little bit with the design. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in dinosaur. I get what it's trying to do, but I don't really think it looks that cool. It does stand out compared to the rest, though, and which I'm not gonna call a bad thing, considering how similar the previous two armors we just talked about are, in terms of like visuals. And now we got the Mark 1 from Iron Man VR, which you can only use in one mission, which is the final one where you fight Gunsmith, who is just a red holographic superior Iron Man, and he's giant, and it's pretty cool. It's a really good game. It's my favorite VR game. And this design, I think, is really cool. It's designed by Adi Grenov, who is the artist for the Extremis comic, which I have read. And I think that this is pretty good. I love the game. I love the suit. Okay, in terms of functionality, you can shoot fireballs. You can use a flamethrower. You can use rocket punch. It flies around like a standard Iron Man armor, but while it can also repair, it doesn't repair quite as fast as the Impulse armor, which is the main armor used in the game. And it's also upgraded with Friday as an AI assistant as well in the mission. So, pretty cool. I love the game. The design is neat. It's going in Trinket to Kill a Prince. And now we got the Marvel Rival suit. I have not touched this game in a stupidly long time. I've played it, I just haven't touched it in like a year. Online games just really don't appeal to me that much. But this is actually pretty good. It's a decent adaptation of the Model 1 from the comics. It's perfectly serviceable. Well, there you have it. That is the Iron Man Mark 1 tier list. I didn't put... Thankfully, none of them made it to Piece of Scrap, but... This list wasn't quite as big as I was anticipating when I first started thinking about the idea, but it's still pretty good, all things considered. My opinion may not align with yours, and that is perfectly okay. Well, that was my tier list. Hope you have a great day, and I hope this video at least made you smile for a few minutes or so. It's okay to dislike the video. At least this isn't a short in that case. I mean, if this was a short, you wouldn't be able to dislike it anymore because it's gone for some reason. I don't know what happened to the dislike button for shorts. I mean, not like you can really see the dislike counter for big videos anyways, but whatever. This is One Happy YouTuber 87 signing off, and I hope you have a great day. And subscribing is optional. You don't have to. Goodbye.